Okay, so we are on a new unit. We're on Unit 5, and we're looking at variables. We're moving into patterns in algebra. So we're going to be substituting fractions and decimals for variables. So a variable is a letter or a symbol that we're going to be using that is a placeholder for a number. So just looking at substituting for fractions and decimals here. So what do I do if a number is right beside the variable? So that would be a multiplication question. So I would rewrite this. So this is telling me what x is equal to. So this is 3 times 1/2. And the same, now that we've put it back in here, the same rules apply to multiplying fractions that we already did. Okay, so I would multiply that top number there, which is going to be 3/2, and then I would change it into lowest terms, right? So 3 divided by 2 is 1, and there's 1 left over, and 1/2. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is just do these next 3 here. So pause the video, do these next 3 here, using the rules that you know for fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying. Okay, so if v is equal to 11/2 and I'm minusing 2, what I need to do here is I need to change this 2 so that it's a fraction, right? So 2/1 works. And now I'm going to find a common denominator, okay? And that is going to be 4/2. And now I'm going to go 11/2 minus 4/2. And that's going to give me 7/2. And then again, I can change that into lowest terms. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, right? Okay, here, same thing. We're going to put that fraction in there. We're going to need to have a common denominator, right? Because this is 3/1, right? 3/1 is just going to be 3, but this helps you visualize how to find that common denominator. So this is going to be 15, and this is going to be 5 plus 2/5, and that is going to be 17/5. So if you're already finding that you're forgetting how to do this or you're having problems doing this, please make sure you do come to the help sessions. Okay, and this last one here, so t. Okay, so these are right beside each other, so they're going to multiply. So I have 3 times 5/3. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to multiply those together, right? So that's going to be 15/3. And then I'm going to put it into lowest terms, right? Which is going to end up being 5. So what we can do here is we can cancel these out. If that doesn't make sense to you, then go ahead and work it all the way through. Okay, and this is plus 2. So I got now 5 plus 2, and that's going to be equal to 7. Okay, so just doing this out, okay, that's going to be 15. That's going to be 3 plus 2, right? This is over 1 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. And that's going to give me 15 plus 6/3, which is 21/3. And then I divide that, which is 7. Okay, so knowing that 5, anything on the top, the numerator can be divided by the denominator, shows me that I don't need to multiply that top number by the 3 because they can just cancel out because they will eventually anyways. So I don't need to do all of those steps. All right, again, just pause. I'd like you to do these ones and then come back and double check your answers. Okay, so this is going to substitute in for m, so 3/4. So I have 8 times 3/4, okay, minus 1. So what can happen here? What can happen here is I can divide the 4 into the 8. And that's going to give me 2 here, okay? Why this can happen, so what's going to happen here is the 8 is going to multiply into the 3 to give me 24, right? And that's 4 at the bottom. I can divide evenly that 24, and that is going to give me 6, which right here shows 6. If you need to do it all the way out, do it all the way out. But this is a shortcut that will work for you every time. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this, and I'm going to do it all, work it all the way out. Okay, so I have 8 times 3, which is 24 over 4, minus, and this 1 is going to be 4 over 4, and then that is going to give me 20 over 4, which is going to be 5. If I did the other method that I just mentioned, 4 can divide into 8, and that's going to give me 2, and then I multiply that by the 3, which is going to give me 2 times 3 minus 1, so that's 6 minus 1, that's 5. So you can see that it comes up with the same answer. All right, so 5 times 3 over 5. Again, I can cancel these out, okay, because I can go 5 divided by 5 times 3. Remember how we used to write those out? Okay, so that just equals 1, and 1 times 3 is 1. So I have 3 plus 1 equals 4. All right, now we're going to do the decimals. So again, we know that this can pop right in here, and it's going to be multiplying. So 9 times 0.2. So that this, we're going to ignore the decimal first. I know that's 18, and there's 1 decimal place there, and that makes sense when I look here. Okay. I'm going to get you to pause and do these next few here. Plus 6, and that's going to be 6 decimal 3. Okay, I can line it up if and put that decimal after, because it does not change the number, and I can line it up so that it shows where those decimals should be. Okay, this is going to be 5 decimal 8 minus 5, and that's going to be, so the whole numbers subtract from each other, so this is going to end up being 0 decimal 8. And this last one here, I have 4, and this is going to be multiplied by 56. So what I can do here, minus 2, okay, I can go 4 times 0.5 plus 4 times 0 decimal 06. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract the 2. So this is going to be 2 decimal 0, and this is going to be, that's going to be 24, so that's going to be 0 decimal 24, because it has the 2 decimal places, minus 2. So already I can see right here that 2 minus 2, right? So I could just go 2 decimal 24 minus 2, and then it's going to be 0 decimal 24. But I like to go, oh, those 2 are going to just cancel out, and there is my answer. So it depends on how you need to do it. Okay. And then I have, I'm going to get you to pause and do these, and then come back and check and make sure that you're doing it correctly. So if you're struggling with this, come straight to the help session. All right, so I have 5 times 0 decimal 6, right? Because it substitutes in for the W, plus 1. So starting from left to right, I do my multiplication first. So that's going to be 1 decimal place, right? So this is 30. So it's 3 decimal 0 plus 1, which is going to be equal to 4. All right. I have this one subbing in for the r there, so I have 7 times 2.34 plus 2. Okay, now I like to, I'm going to use blue here, I like to break it up. Plus 7 times 0.3 plus 7 times 0.04. So what I've done is I've broken these up into their place values, and I'm going to multiply them first. So this is 14. This is going to be, that's 21, 1 decimal place there. This is going to be 28, so plus 0.28 plus 2. So 14, this is 14, 15, 16, 17, if I just look at the whole numbers first. Okay, then looking at, let's get rid of that, looking at the numbers after the decimal place and adding those. So this is the tenths column, I'm going to add that to the tenths column, so that's 3, 8. Okay, now, what if I have 2 variables? Okay, it doesn't make it any different. I have here, x is going to be equal to 3 each time, and y is going to be equal to 2 each time. So I just pop those into the equation. So I have 5 times 3, and I have 4 times 2. And I start, this is the order of operations, right? There's no brackets. So then I go multiplication and division first from left to right. So I'm going to go, this is 15 now, plus, I'm going to do this one next, 8. And then I add them together. Okay. So I would like you to pause and do this one by yourself here. And then come back. So I have 6 times x, which is 3, minus 2 times 2. And then we start from the left and we go to the right, multiplication first. So I'm going to do 6 times 3 first, which is 18, and that's minus 2 times 2, which is 4. And then I subtract those, which is going to be 14. All right, moving along here, we're still using those same numbers. How would you do this one? So pause and do this one, and then come back and check. So I have 7 times 3, because the 3 goes in for the x, times y, which is 2. So starting from left to right, this is 21 times 2, which is going to be 42. Okay, so this question here, these two questions are going to be a little unique. I want you to do both of the questions and then come back, because we're going to have we're going to analyze it. Well, I'm going to analyze it by myself. But I want you to think about these two questions and compare them to each other. So I have 3 times 5 plus 4 times 2. So this is going to be 15 plus 8, okay, which is going to be 23. Okay, so over here I have 4 times 2 plus 3 times 5. And this is going to be 8, and this is going to be 15, and this is going to be 23. Now my question for you that I want you to try to figure out is, why are these questions, why do they come out to the same answer when x and y were different? Okay, so I'm hoping that you notice that we're multiplying the same numbers. So even though the questions are in different order, this is for x and this is 3y and this is 3x and 4y, these ones switched around as well. So we ended up multiplying the same numbers together. and that's why they came up with the same answer. All right, so we're going to stop here, and you're free to go and do the worksheet. Please, please, please come to the help session if this is from the video didn't make sense.